Good morning, good morning, good morning. Isn't it a wonder how God, in His great and infinite love, loves us so much that even in spite of our setbacks, our disappointments, our um, unwillingness to serve Him, even the things that we did in our lifetime cannot separate us from God. We can continue finding ourselves in a cycle of disappointment, regrets, setbacks, and even wrong choices and decisions. But God, in His infinite love, still calls us His own. He is calling you today, no matter what you've been through, no matter what have hurt you, no matter what rejection you have felt, or where you may find yourself. Maybe you may be sitting in the seat of complacency, regret, or maybe dysfunction. Maybe you may find yourself being ostracized or let um, let go by a job or whatever, a relationship. But know that God says in this, He so loved us. He loves you so unconditionally and He's calling you. He wants you to come. The Master has need of you. It says that when Jesus went um, into the city one day, He asked His disciple to go and find a colt tied. Tell the owner, not ask, but tell the owner, I have need of it. God has need of you, need of your talents, of your gifts, of your abilities, of your time. He has need of whatever it is. You may feel like you do not have a contribution to this world or to this earth. Or maybe you may be feeling that you do have a contribution, but the people that you're around are literally sucking the life out of you. They are not allowing you to express your true you, who God has made you to be. I say today, just as Jesus had said, be loosed from your infirmity. Be loosed and let go and let God use you. God is willing to use you and make you into something more beautiful than your heart can ever imagine. I heard someone talk about my favorite story because, like I said, when I was a kid, I had an eye problem. It had a tumor in it. And guess what? I felt as though that, why would God allow this to happen to me? But that was years later. But as a child, I didn't feel anything other than the fact that I know that God loved me. Yes, Jesus loved me. And even though I took countless of operations and stuff, when it was all finished and done with, I still had to go through the process of my eyes being restored. Children at that time were very, very, very concerned. And I guess in their curiosity, they teased and they buffed and they made me feel as I became into my teenage years that I lacked something, that there was not something beautiful about me. There wasn't anything that was good about me. But I would have you to know that the beauty was lying inside, dormant, just like the story of the ugly duckling. When the ugly duckling was little, guess what? Everyone thought that, hey, I don't want that duck around. And they pushed him away everywhere that he went. They rejected him. Why? Because he was not with the right flock. He was not going with the right flock. The chicken didn't want him because he was not a chicken. The um goose didn't want him because he was in a goose. The pigs and the other animals didn't want him because he was not a pig, he was not a goat, he was not a sheep. He was a swan. And the moment he started to walk towards the water, he went by his instinct and he followed his dreams. He followed where the water was taking him. And once he sat in the water for a little while, as the snow came and then the seasons changed, he began to look at the other ducks in the water and he began to look at the swans and he said, wow, I would want to be one of those one day. But little did he know he was a swan. He was already growing into the most beautiful swan there is. And that is what God wants us to know, that we are swans within us. We are just like that. We are growing into something beautiful, more fabulous, more excellent. And I'm not talking only about the world fabulosity, not about the world aspect of being great, not about the world's rules when it comes to you being popular or whatever. But being called and chosen by God is something unique and special that the world can't take away. Your calling is an election sure. And guess what? God says that if you are in his hands, no one dare pluck you out. Not only that, do you know that you're a royal priesthood, set aside, a peculiar person, called according to God's will, called according to God's precepts? His ways are higher than man's ways. His thoughts higher than man's thoughts. But guess what? As long as you have life and as long as he's giving you breath, he can make your sinful, scarlet ridden body life into something more beautiful. He's the potter. We are just the clay. Just remember that. Guess what? God is willing to make you into something more beautiful than you've ever imagined. He has greatness stored up inside of you. And guess what? When you bloom, just like a caterpillar, you will fly on wings so beautiful that everyone would admire you. You would be just like the um, birds and the bees. You will go and fulfill the duty that God has placed within you. Be blessed today. This is your coach, Sarah Fernanda, and also your minister for today, Sarah Fernanda. I just want you to be encouraged, blessed, and enlightened, because even though I'm saying this word to you, before I came on this app, I said, Lord, give me a word. And that word that I asked him for was a word for me. I hope that it encouraged you as much as it encouraged me. Be blessed, be enlightened, be edified, be uplifted, and walk into your destiny and your faith, but don't leave God out. Whatever you do, put God first. Put God in the front of everything that you're going through and know that He that he is able, that he is God and he is God, and beside him there is none other. Oh, I'm getting excited right now because God is truly amazing. Be blessed today.